Fighting is almost never worth it, because there's no ref in the real world. You could try tapping out, but you'll probably just get beat harder. Stop touching me! If you want to go into a UFC or a boxing ring where someone can break it up, be my guest. But out in public, some people are savages. In college, I remember seeing a fight that broke out on the sidewalk. One guy throws the other guy down to the ground and starts playing soccer with his brain noodle. Do you think anyone broke it up? Hell no. Everyone just took out their cell phones being like, someone should really stop this. Besides, with all the MMA training out there, you don't know how dangerous someone could be. That midget with a lisp could be a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Now you're on the pavement getting pummeled because you made one short joke. Ah! I was kidding! You'll never be good enough. Shut up, Dad! I've been in 3 fights in my life. One I lost, one I won, and one where we both lost. Let's start with the one I lost. I know it may be hard to believe, but in high school, I wasn't the physical specimen my Instagram makes me out to be. Nope, I was a 135-pound white boy. One kid at my school named Tommy would always bully me. I never did anything to the guy, but some people see a sheep and decide, I want lamb tonight. One day, I'm the last to leave class, and he stands in front of the door blocking my exit. I was getting real fed up with his shit, so I didn't even ask him to move. I just tried forcing myself past him. We grapple for a second, and then he tosses me down to the ground and throws his science book at my head. Here's a physics lesson, bitch. Now, I didn't cry, but I was getting teary. My entire soul wanted to cry, but there were tons of classmates in the hall that would never let me live that down. As I'm picking up my books, a teacher named Mr. Schneider comes over and asks what happened. I know snitches get stitches, so I kept my mouth shut. Luckily, one of my classmates says, Tommy pushed him down and threw a textbook at his head. Mr. Schneider doesn't even ask if it's true. He just grabs the kid's arm and manhandles him to the principal's office. You think that would make me feel better, but when you're a kid and get bullied, you just can't escape the feeling of being ashamed or embarrassed. Fast forward to my next 2 fights that were both at college. By this point, I was working out a bunch, and I wasn't huge, but for my size, I was in great shape. One day, I'm in the wrestling room with my buddy Mike, and he asked if I knew how to defend myself. Being all sorts of cocky, I'm like, of course. In my mind, I'm like, I got a 6-pack. I'm basically a professional fighter. So Mike says, all right, so you'd be able to take a leg kick. I'm like, leg kick? What a stupid thing to do in a fight. He goes, all right, I'm gonna kick you about 30% of my strength. I'm like, okay. He's like, are you sure you're ready? I'm like, stop being a bitch and just do it. He kicks me, and immediately, my leg turns to jello. I'm like, mother of tits, that hurt. And he wasn't kidding. He only kicked me with about 30% of his strength. After that, you'll never guess what I kept practicing. Hand jobs? What? No, calf kicks on a boxing bag. A few months later, I'm at the bar, and I got a couple of drinks in me. I'm feeling extra confident, so I'm going up to random cuties trying to start a conversation. I'm talking to this one lovely lady when a guy comes over saying, why the f*** you talking to my girl? I'm like, whoa there, Chad. I'm just being friendly. Immediately, he grabs my shirt, and now it's a scene. His girlfriend is yelling, stop, Brian, stop. I was able to get away from him and exit the bar, but Brian follows me outside. He squares up and throws 2 jabs that weren't even close. I couldn't tell if he was too drunk or if he was just trying to intimidate me. Either way, I wasn't going to stand there and find out. So I took my buddy Mike's advice and blasted him in the calf. It connected beautifully. He immediately falls to one knee, and I just turn and book it. So I got a W in that fight, but the next one, not so much. Similar scenario, except I'm outside of a bar bullshitting with my friends. And for anyone that knows me, at times, I can say some pretty offensive things. A gentleman about 5 feet from me takes offense to one of my comments and starts talking trash. Now, sober me would try to verbally de-escalate the situation, but sadly, only drunk me was awake. So we're going back and forth with insults, and he squares up. But this time, I'm overconfident. He throws 2 punches. One of them misses, and the other one clips me right in my ear. I'm like, shit. So I plant my feet, twist my hips, and go to kick his calf, but unfortunately, I miss slightly, and both of our shins collide. And my God, even with the alcohol in me, it was so painful. He falls to the ground, and somehow my adrenaline keeps me up, but I can tell my leg is compromised. So I immediately turn and hobble away. I was able to make it back to the bus that leads back to campus, but by this point, my adrenaline had subsided, and I couldn't put any pressure on my leg. So I asked the bus driver if he could drop me off at the hospital, and he didn't give a fuck. In fairness to him, he's a bus driver in a college town at 12:30 at night. Life did him dirty, and he could care less about anyone. He was just like, no. Not, I'll drop you off to the hospital, or this is the closest stop to the hospital. Just no. So I get off the bus, and I'm literally dragging myself to the hospital. After a few blocks, I got super lucky and bumped into a classmate. I barely even knew him, but he was nice enough to essentially carry me the rest of the way. So I'm in the ER, waiting to get an x-ray, when the kid whose leg I kicked is also in the hospital. He's there with his girlfriend, and I'm freaking out, trying to pull my little curtain closed so he doesn't see me. Because I already had a fucked up leg, I didn't want to throw an assault charge on top of that. Good news is he doesn't see me. Bad news is I sprained my tibia, meaning I had to use crutches for the next few weeks, which sucked donkey dick because it was wintertime and my campus is a series of hills. I was in my physical prime, and the only ass I was eating was fault. In conclusion, is fighting worth it? Hell no. There's no prize money if you win, and if you lose, you can get seriously messed up. So if someone is bothering you, it's best to just be the bigger man and walk away. Or use social media to track where they live and show up at their house 15 years later. I got your science book, Tommy. What? Who are you? We're going to learn about inertia. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You know what you want to do. Oh, you want to push that subscribe button. Oh, push the button. Push the button.